We have a lot of complaints. At times, as a city, we are then forced to ask that church be closed, and I don't think it's in the best interest of anybody, because as residents have got their rights as well. So that is concerning the noise complaints that we receive. I want to link that with the illegal churches on residential stands. I have particular ones in Mufakose, Kambuzuma, where tents have been pitched in front of the houses, some of them spilling into the roads, and as you know, in high density areas, the boundary is just a line, it's just there next door. This one is a Muslim, this one is a Sayoja, this one is a Seventh-day Adventist, and it's not auguring well. We have complaints that come every day concerning such developments. I've also seen some that are coming from Bari where we have such scenarios. So I think as churches we need to be responsible and also appreciate that we have other residents also who need their privacy and their time. With kids that are going to school, that are writing exams, we have people that have got high blood pressure and so on and so forth, and some of these things affect them very much. I've got one particular old man, I think he's been to the mayor's office many times, and he's saying, "Mayor, this church is now killing me." So I think we need to take it.
Order, please.
The other issue which was outlined on the agenda by His Worship is the upkeep of environments that surround churches. As a city, we look to get what we call planning gain from churches. When a church is allocated a church stand and there is a public open space or a public area that is nearby, it would be nice if the churches can assist us and work with us to make sure that such environments are well looked after, and also they benefit the other residents who may not be members of the church. And by doing that, I'm sure we'll be luring people to come to God and to be saved. So as a council, we are appealing to say, if you have an open space that is near your church, you can approach us, and then we can see how we can work together to make sure that you assist us in also looking after such environments. The council has got a budget for parks, but at times it was also overwhelmed. So we can do with assistance from the churches. And then traffic issues around churches. We have big churches that attract huge numbers of people. And at times it really becomes a challenge for the management of traffic and the management of pedestrians in such areas. I won't mention names, but we've had churches where traffic issues have been really an issue, and at times also accidents happening, church members being run over by cars and so on and so forth. So we are saying, as churches, if we appreciate that we have huge numbers, I think it is always good to work with us, and we also work with the churches in consultation with the Zimbabwe Republic Police, so that the traffic can be managed and we can save lives. And at times also we encourage such churches actually not to be in areas that have got high volumes of traffic, because then it becomes difficult to manage. There was one church where we ended up discussing whether we could have a flyover for pedestrians and so on and so forth, because we had seen that the numbers of accidents had really escalated and a lot of lives were being lost. So churches can approach us and we can work together to make sure that we manage that, because you don't want your church to have a bad name where people are saying accidents are always happening at such and such a church, maybe this is happening, maybe that is happening. Yes. So that is the issue on traffic around churches. And then the application for church stands, which have been discussed by Ms. Mtambirwa. We work in consultation with the city valuer and estates manager. They are the custodians of the land, they are the owners of the land. But when the applications come, they come to town planning. And we do process the applications, then we assess to see whether the place is suitable for a church, and so on and so forth. And then after we approve the church, we can then pass it on for allocation to the city valuer and estates manager, who is the owner of the land. But what I wanted to outline on this item is that we have now over 1,000 denominations of churches in Harare. We used to have around 300, I think, some 3 years ago. But now the numbers have just jumped. And so if we are saying each church must have a church stand in a suburb, it means in Mbare we will need 1,000 church stands. And I don't think that is practical. Because you go to Warren Park, for example, a church would say, they would come to us and say, we want to apply for a church, and say, but you have got another one in Warren Park D. They say, Warren Park D is too far away. We want another one in Warren Park 1, another one in West, and so on and so forth. So we will be having 1,000 churches in Warren Park D, 1,000 churches in Warren Park 1, and so on and so forth. And it's not practical. So I think the policies that were outlined by Mr. Mtambirwa are there for us to manage the finite resource which we have, which is land. And we try to balance to see how we can accommodate each other and accommodate as many churches as possible so that our people can worship free. But we must also appreciate that the land is not even there. And also our denominations have just grown to unmanageable levels. So I think that is issues that need to be considered. And also, as we do resolutions, let's look at what we can do. Can we allow each other to go into each other's church? Can we do, what do we call them, chapels in suburbs, so that these go in the morning, the others 1 hour, and so on and so forth? What can we do to make sure that each of our residents can benefit by having a proper church where we can worship from? Because certainly to give every church a stand in Harare is not practical. Thank you very much. I go on to the next item. I think I've already covered that, which is the issue of illegal churches in homes. Please, can we as church leaders make sure that our churches are responsible and they don't operate from illegal points? Because then it's not nice when we then have to come and argue with pastors and so on and so forth. You know, it's not a nice experience. So thank you very much. I think this is what I had. I will leave it here. And okay. So yes, in terms of the Regional Town and Country Planning Act, there are processes that we follow through if people are operating illegally, and we give enforcement orders. We may come and destroy the church, we may come and take away the tents and so on and the chairs, and this is what we want to avoid, because there is remedy in the law in that it provides us on how to do the illegal activities and also to do with those that illegally occupy spaces that are not allocated by council. Talking about the apostolic sects that were raised earlier on, we now have a lot of applications also from the apostolic sects that worship in open areas. And some of them would just say, give us an open space, we'll look after it, we'll plant trees, but we also ask them to put at least toilets. And I think it is happening. We have quite a number, as was indicated by Mr. Mtambirwa, where we have given them